Anybody when you better put a ring on it.
Oh, 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 oh,
Oh, oh, oh, oh, oh, oh.
oh. One of the bananas broke.
Banana. Uh,
Wow, what a good day
it's a
today's
good
been.
day. It's a good day. Here we go. Here we go, guys.
We are here,
Yeah, but not.
but not here.
Whoa.
Oh, get that out of the screen.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Banana.
Don't put it in yet.
She said.
You can do it. Hello.
Shaking everybody.
We're back on the Ubes.
You know what's good to know is that they can hear us the entire time that thing is up, so that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Nothing. I'm not embarrassed.
No,
We're back.
it's time for yet another episode of the Nerdy Couch Show.
Wow, I like how intense that was.
Yeah.
You said that really nice.
What are we talking about?
The Mandalorian, of course.
Yeah,
Mr. Pascal.
Pascal.
Okay. Just killing it.
He's the guy.
All right.
He's the man.
He's everybody's papa.
Papa.
All right.
Papa, can you
What
hear
episode
me?
are we talking about today?
We're talking about episode 5 in season 3. Before we get into it,
Well, before we get into it, let's just make sure that we give ourselves a bit of a spoiler warning.
that's right,
A spoiler warning.
because you want to make sure that you're not spoiled.
Okay. And
when
if
you
you
come in
haven't
here.
seen The Mandalorian in the recent episodes, get your life together.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You know, like get your priorities straight.
Yeah, figure it out.
Figure it out, bud. Grab yourselves a puppers
Mm-hmm.
and sit down and watch The Mandalorian, okay? And then come
Sure.
back and watch this on the replay.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts.
Um,
That'll do.
so there have been a bit of haters rolling around in this
For this
world of ours.
episode?
Yeah, they're saying that The Mandalorian isn't the show that it started out as.
What show is
I don't know, but
this?
I think it could be due to the fact that they believe that the Mandalore Din Djarin himself and Grogu have lost their story.
Like, to be fair,
To be fair.
how much story is there?
Well, so when there was an interview with Jon Favreau, and when he was asked about when this is going to end, he said he doesn't see it having to end. Like, he doesn't see
They're already putting the building blocks in for story and world building.
right.
All right.
And really, like, when you're doing a show like this, and in the Star Wars universe, for me, there's always kind of like that multiple story piece, and I think that some of that was missing from The Mandalorian, with it being so pressed in. And it's called The Mandalorian. It's not called Din Djarin.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the story of Din Djarin. In fact, I appreciate the involvement of the other Mandalorians and the way the story is going. In fact, this episode I liked enough, and I actually had to take a step back and appreciate the previous episode a little more.
Yeah.
Because of and realize how much of a story building and world building episode it was.
That was 2 episodes ago, I think.
That
Yeah.
I think we know which episode I'm talking about. The one that I kind of
Poo-pooed.
poo-pooed on
You
it a
did.
little bit. And as although it's not by far my favorite episode, I can appreciate it a little more now,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And I do.
And if you've been doing anything like the Bad Batch, the season of the Bad Batch
I'm
is
still
running concurrently, and it has a lot of the pieces involved around the building of the clones and those kinds of experiments too. So
I do want to get into the Bad Batch, but I'm still working on Clone Wars.
yeah, well, you'll be a bit. Where
So-
are you at in Clone Wars?
I started over.
Okay. Well,
It's a lost cause for me. I've seen the first season 13 times.
nice.
You know,
Well, you'll make it.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah, I
it's
just thought
something I'm excited
I
about.
wanted to throw that out there that I was reading a little some hate mail.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of room for hate.
I didn't think so either, because this is kind of one of those episodes that, you know, you're waiting for when you're watching any of these things, is that big battle episode,
These
something
are
that
your
they're just throwing
classic
down.
Mandalorian episodes.
Yeah. Where it's gonna be a fight, dog fight,
You know?
a vicious cockfight, and everybody's keeping their heads on a swivel.
Yeah, I know. On the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
You know, this was an episode that had some characters come back.
Yeah.
Right. It had a good plot line.
Yeah, I thought so. Like it was a good tie-in episode where they're grabbing all those pieces from this season and really like putting all the puzzle all together.
Yeah, and I thought that it worked really well actually. Like there was this episode had everything it needed.
I agree.
Everything that a Mandalorian it had all the tropes of a Mandalorian episode.
Yeah,
all the pieces that make it work. But let's get into those pieces.
Let's start putting them together.
You know, take that puzzle and start putting it together.
That's right.
All right. Is it unlike us to have a few missing pieces at the end? Absolutely not.
We better have a few missing pieces at the end.
You know,
or else where are you going to go with the story? Right? Navarro. That's where we kick off.
Dave Navarro.
Dave, the Doctor of Love.
Yeah.
He's there, and he's playing
It would have been awesome if they had
a mean riff. They should have had a cameo at least,
or they should have had at least a track.
Something. But see, there's our complaints. That's what we're complaining out. No Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would have spiced it up a little.
Would have. Picks up in Navarro, Grief Karga, the High Magistrate. Grief Karga.
Yes, pointed out to us once again.
Yeah. Doing his jam. He's just like kicking it. He's just trying to build a better world. That's an interesting character development just in and of itself, that he went from like
being he wasn't a pirate.
No, he was the guild master for the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And to move from that into the magistrate of like this blooming place.
No, there's probably a good reason why they want to be they want to have nothing to do with any sort of federation.
No.
Right,
no
because
Empire, no New Republic, nothing. They don't want it. They're like, no, we're not doing that. We're not those people.
It bites them in the ass a little bit today.
Today?
Or during this episode?
Wednesday. In a galaxy far, far away.
Very, very far away. Because it gives the pirates a good excuse to not leave them alone.
And we knew, I guess we
had a feeling
that Gorian Shard wasn't going to just leave it alone.
And that Swamp Thing?
Yeah. Yes. Swamp Thing wasn't going to. I don't even know. So I don't know what he is, what species he is.
He's lettuce. Alien
species he is. He's some sort of.
He's a tossed salad.
He could. What if he was like an old Groot? Whatever species Groot is.
Like he's just an old one. He's just been in the water too long.
Yeah.
He's just seaweed.
Yeah.
All right. Not a bad character though.
No, I think he's a great character.
He definitely.
He's got the hobble. He's got a cane.
He definitely has all the pirate-esque things going on.
Yeah. He screams pirate. And he shows up and he's a big dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Threatening Greaves. Greaves.
Grief.
Good old Greaves.
Mr. Karga.
Mr. Karga.
Yeah.
I can get that out of my mouth better. Karga.
Jeez.
Well, I don't know how to say words.
Yeah. Which is why you don't usually look at the board, I don't think.
Yeah, I think so. I only look up there just to find names, but Star Wars is kind of one of those things where they're like, "Hey, we're not going to make it easy for you.
No.
We're just going to call them all this mumbo jumbo."
That's right.
I'm surprised there's not. Is there a character called Mumbo Jumbo? Because
that might be a Marvel character.
You know,
he might be like Fang Foom's brother or something.
Yeah. Mumbo Jumbo, the big bad dragon.
Um, he they don't waste any time. Like I thought maybe they would just kind of like hold position over the city and like just threaten, but they straight bomb the city.
See, I like his position where he's like one of those head pirates that doesn't go down and participate in the like the rampage of things or the drinking or anything like that, but
Yeah.
he just sits up there in his throne.
Just sit in your tower.
Sit in your tower. All right. I'm glad I triggered that, by the way.
Yeah.
And just kind of like overlooks.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's just waiting for the spoils to come to him. He's done his work. He's done his thing.
Well, I'm sure like before he was captain, he quit touching your banana
Okay.
during the show. It's
yeah, before he was a captain, he was probably
he was probably a little more unruly and stuff like that. But so Karga is they're sitting there in their ivory tower.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're discussing development.
Yeah.
When
he's stretching it out, moving bits of city here and there. And
he's got visions. This guy, he's got visions.
Yeah.
All right. But he's rudely interrupted by Salad Face.
Yeah.
Who comes over the intercom or whatever the heck those things are called.
Yeah.
All right.
His big hologram head.
With all the technology, why are those things so choppy?
I don't know. I guess they don't really see a need to really put any more work into their holograms.
Their holograms
work well enough.
For the time, their holograms are shit.
When you're flying around in space, you'd think they would be a little more smooth.
They got a problem with that and doors.
Well, maybe it's because they're maybe it's because they're constantly just wrecking the old stuff. Like we saw them taking the Imperial
speaking of holograms, this is what I don't get, okay?
And getting rid of them. I didn't even finish my thought.
Your thought was going nowhere.
Go ahead. What were you thinking?
You've got this guy in a bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's in the bar?
What's his name? The fighter pilot.
Teva? Captain Teva?
The guy who meets them on
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's at the bar and he's like, "Hey, we got a message for you." And he's like, "Can you bring out the extremely large cassette tape player?" So that I can play this?
Well, it's got to play a whole hologram.
All right. And then he goes to Din and he's like, "Here." And then Din's like, "Oh, I can just play it like this."
He wanted a bigger one. It's a bigger image on that.
I can just go, there we go.
Yeah. Well, it kind of looks like a bounty puck.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, pirates attack, kick over to Adelphi, which is where that rebel base and that bar is that they're hanging out at. That's
yeah, where you get to see a couple of the different ships there.
Yeah, you get some Y-wings and some X-wings, which was kind of sweet. I was
and
really
then
nostalgic.
there is there's a few of the flyers or whatever that are in the blue suits.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that mean?
I have no idea, to be quite honest with you. Blue suits. I was like, oh, blue suit guys.
Yeah,
I did notice, but I was like,
did you question that?
I did.
Like, what is their rank or something?
Is that a different squadron? Or are they just special? Maybe they're bombers. They could be bombers.
You know, I'd like you to look into that.
I will.
And get back to me on it, because you're supposed to be my Star Wars guy.
This episode, by the way, was like a who's who of alien races. I don't know if you noticed.
There was plenty, especially when the pirate scenes.
Yeah, because you get the Niktos and the what I like to call the bum faces.
The bum faces.
You get Aqualish.
The lizard folk.
Yes. And you get Rhodians, you get the transgressions, that's the lizard dudes. But then also you're getting like those Mon Calamari again and stuff like that in the bar.
Calamari.
I love the Mon Calamari is probably one of my favorite. And
how do they feel about that? I wonder.
What?
Is there calamari?
I don't think
in the Star Wars universe.
Well, I don't know. They're underwater people. Maybe they do eat like their big calamari. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do love them just because of Admiral
I
Akbar.
just
It's
I
a
just
trap.
like when that one guy came out of the bar and he's just
Oh, the tentacle guys.
yeah.
Those are Quarren.
Oh, are they Corin?
Yeah. But yeah, I think I want to say that it's, if I'm right, then I think the Mon Calamari and the Quarren might be from the same space, like in the same planet, because it's like this underwater kind of
Makes sense.
jam. But I could be wrong.
So when we're talking about um, different races and stuff, and we have to mention like probably the best looking character,
Lost my mind.
the best looking character in this episode.
Yeah.
The guy who looks like he's right out of the Ratchet and Clank series.
Oh yeah, I guess he does too.
Yeah.
You're right. I never even made that connection, but you're right. Garazeb Aurelios.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You can just call him Zeb.
Gazab.
Yeah. Call him Zeb.
Yeah. Zeb looks fantastic.
He was amazing. I lost my mind when I
Now
saw him.
he was from the animated series.
Yes. Which one?
Not Clone Wars.
No. Come on. You can do this.
It was the other one.
Heck, you can do this.
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh my gosh. So it's from Rebels.
Rebels. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
So I was looking all over the place for the ghost during that episode, by the way, because I wanted to see the ghost.
There's a ghost?
No, there is no ghost. So the Rebels, from Rebels, that being a part of it, the ship, Harrison Dooley's ship.
So the Rebel is a ship.
No.
What?
The ghost is a ship.
What's the Rebel?
They're rebels.
Okay,
That's from
they are rebels.
Well, not anymore.
From the ghost.
Yes, that was their ship.
Okay.
Yeah, Harrison Dooley's ship.
Harrison
Doula.
Andula
Who
Obligado.
is the Twi'lek.
All right. It would be helpful if I had seen Rebels.
Yes.
Um,
And I mean, if you saw Rebels and then you're watching this, that's where you get all of those.
You'd be flipping out.
Those pieces around like the space whales and all of that stuff is from Rebels. Like,
regardless,
Purrgil, if you don't want to say space whales, but I'm just trying to break it down.
I do want to say space whales. Actually, this character just looks awesome. The CGI was on par.
Oh, it was great. Zeb. I paused the show and was freaking out and like shoving my wife because I was so excited about it. And I had to get up and make a reel about it. First watch of the show, I just stopped.
So this character made you downright abusive.
Yeah, I guess it did. It was light shoves. Mildly abusive.
That character is the way they should make any CGI character.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right?
if they're gonna push. Yo, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome.
Yeah, if they're gonna do any like CGI stuff instead of like the prosthetics and that really old school feel, then that's how they should.
Yeah, because some of the other characters, like the pirates and stuff, they were definitely the old like prosthetic stuff like that, which is perfectly fine because it suits this genre.
Yeah.
Right. But then you have these characters that are just downright knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
Right. And I want to see that character more because of that little tidbit that I saw of him. He's a really cool character, and not just the way he looked, but his attitude.
And again, if you've watched Rebels, like his attitude was spot on too.
It makes me want to get there.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a great series.
Like this is a character without seeing it so much, without seeing Rebels and stuff, that I don't feel like we should be talking about that much.
Yeah.
But we are.
Yeah.
Obviously, right? Just a great character, great interaction.
Yeah, it was dope. I'm so happy with it. And I'm like, because they're setting up for Ahsoka so much, like it almost screams to me that we're gonna get more of
the Rebels characters. Which is what I've heard. And if
I'm gonna squeal like a little girl when we start getting things like Harrison Dula and Ezra Bridger and stuff like that.
And then now, do you think was it Thrawn.
Thrawn.
Thrawn. I
Yeah.
always call him Thrawn for some reason.
You're definitely gonna get Thrawn.
Now,
And that's gonna make me squeal too. I
soon
might do a
is
lot
what
of
I hear.
squealing.
Soon is what I hear.
Yeah. Do you think they'll drop him in, sprinkle him in on the end of this?
I'm thinking soon.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to do some serious steps setting up for Ahsoka, and you're gonna see that soon.
I'm excited for it.
Right? How many episodes do we have left? A couple episodes.
I think they're only doing 8.
Right.
So
that's not a lot of time.
We've got 3 episodes left
to really
drop those hints and set up Ahsoka.
Yeah. So and you don't want to make it feel rushed.
No.
Right? So they're going to have to start planting these seeds now.
And that was one of the things that they kind of said about this episode too, is that some of these pieces felt rushed. And I could see some of that. Like, you could have probably built the stories up a little more in places, but I don't think it was that.
I think it worked just fine.
I think it worked well.
You know, I think that people are nitpicking, and they're always going to nitpick.
Yeah.
All right.
Hate is going to hate.
So we get the hologram from the 90-pound tape cassette.
Yeah.
All right.
I cannot remember what the bartender is. I want to say like a Snivelin or something like that.
A Slytherin?
No, not a Slytherin. But it's the pig face people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Which is how I describe a lot of things. If
their appearance.
If you read my notes, there's like the dog face ones.
Yeah.
The lizard people. And
I know exactly. The thing is I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's right.
So, we've got the distress signal that was sent.
Yes.
Asking for help, for a favor.
Help.
Okay.
I need somebody.
And, what's his face? The guy who's receiving it?
Well, Captain Tava.
Okay, well, so where have we seen him before? We've seen him
in the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Okay. Was he in any of the other?
I'm gonna say no. Like, I can't think of him being in anything else.
He's the one who let.
Was he in Boba Fett?
He let Din Djarin kind of go, essentially. Right?
Yeah. They tried to pull him over at one point.
Kind of let him slide.
And then they found him again and they let him go.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He wants to help.
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, he's one of the guys that came out of the war. Like, he's obviously old enough to have probably fought in that whole war.
Yeah.
And
so he knows the way things can go. Right. I tried to refrain from saying anything remotely close to "this is the way" there, but I struggled, obviously. So he heads back.
Yeah, he kicks over to Coruscant and I mean, Zeb even says that good luck trying to get any help from them.
Oh yeah.
Which says a lot about like the New Republic.
Good luck, you're gonna need it, right?
Which is so. And then when we get there, and he's having those conversations with Colonel guy
Sanders,
Colonel Tuttle.
Okay, played by. I can never remember the guy's name, but he plays in a lot of comedy roles.
Does he?
Okay.
I don't even see him on my note.
What do you mean, does he? He's hilarious. All right.
What's he in?
Okay, have you ever seen a show called The Son of Zorn?
No.
Son of Zorn.
No.
Okay. Haven't. Watch it.
Okay.
This guy is hilarious in it.
Okay.
Okay. And I can't take him in a serious role.
Why? You know what? He's not even that serious in this. Like, he plays almost like an inept aristocratic kind of.
You need to watch
officer.
The Son of Zorn, because you're gonna see him and you're gonna go, I can't get that character out of my mind.
Okay.
Son
of Zorn.
Son of Zorn. It's a great show. It has it's one of those shows where it's a animation and real life mixed. Okay. And it's hilarious. Okay. Not a show for your children. Okay. But I can't take this guy serious in any role. If he tries to do he's great. I just can't take him serious. Okay. The good thing about this scene is that you have what's her face come in.
Elia Kane.
Okay. Yeah, Kane.
Communications officer.
Yeah. And
former, I guess.
I kind of appreciate her character more.
Yeah. So she was set up nicely, and then I think in this episode she shined a little more. Like,
you kind of get to see her motives clear.
Yeah. which made her a more interesting character in that
Yeah.
episode 3, which is good. But yeah, Teva gets stopped by the Rodian.
I was just
secretary.
enjoying you lagging there for a second.
I did lag.
Um,
Colonel Tuttle.
Colonel Tuttle.
Tuttle.
Who's the Tuttle again?
The Colonel.
He's the
boss.
guy I can't take seriously. Yeah. Yeah. So he's pretty much shutting the operation down.
Yeah. Well, because Navarro's like independent, they didn't sign the
and she
charters and stuff
makes
like that.
it clear.
Yeah.
She's like, look, they haven't signed. Maybe it's best we let them sweat.
And Teva's like not having it. He obviously doesn't trust any former Imperials.
Yeah, he notices the button for the reformed whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And
he thinks something fishy's going on out there.
Like he makes a comment about her not being like them being captured and not liberated or whatever.
Yeah.
And she makes it very clear that like, no, we weren't captured. We were, we were liberated.
Yeah.
Which
she wasn't really though. Like she came from Moff Gideon's. Like she was one of the last remnants of the Empire that was kicking around, right?
Like she really gives the impression here that she's not reforming.
No.
It's very much like I quite enjoyed being part of the Empire.
Yeah. It was a great scene. Like I enjoyed that whole dynamic, and it gave a really interesting view on what the New Republic was and is, and I think it kind of is helping to build like how you get to the final 3 in the trilogy or in the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Like how did the Empire come back and become a power? It's because these New Republic people were soft and like they were already breaking down prior to.
Yeah.
They didn't have the resources to cover all of this ground.
Yeah, because he was stressing that he's like, look, this is the start of something bigger.
Yeah. Teva was he has an inclination. Like, I mean, and probably because he's been around, right?
Yeah.
Like he was there.
Because he's a
vet.
Experienced vet in this matter, sorry.
Yeah.
Words.
They're hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do struggle with them. He doesn't care though. He's gonna get it done.
Yeah. We kind of kick back over to Navarro quick and just see like the populace going to like make camp in the middle of the volcanic desert that they have.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Just a kind of a sad
Which
scene.
You don't get the sense that there's like I feel like they underplayed the population of
there didn't seem like there was enough people there. I mean, I know probably a bunch of them died, or maybe they're hiding in the city and stuff still too.
Quite possibly. Well, and guaranteed there are some that are hiding. There was people who were still serving.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right too. Like when we go back,
not everyone was able to get out and stuff like that. And you get a good sense of how the city's been turned around and stuff. This poor city has gone from being destroyed, rebuilt, and now rubble again, pretty much.
Well, I don't know that it was like destroyed initially. It was just kind of derelict because it was not a like
it wasn't
central. It was just
I get what you're saying though. But it came from nothing to something to being bombed again and or bombed and they're already sitting on a volcanic
What's nice though, you can really use, as we saw in the first 3 movies, you can really use a solid volcanic planet for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like burning Anakin Skywalker.
Of course.
Yeah.
Where are we then with this story?
The Mandalorian covert is where Teva goes.
Yeah, he goes there not feeling welcome.
No. But how did he get there? By that traitorous little astromech droid.
The little
R5D4.
The R5 unit. Now when he says somebody tipped me off.
Yeah, somebody that served with me in the
Somebody
rebellion.
that served with me tipped me off and stuff like that. And at any point did you go, who the fuck?
And that's what they did too, which I thought was funny because all the Mandalorians are all looking at each other like, wait a minute.
Which one of you bastards? You know? And then this droid comes out all smug.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's surprised, actually, that the thing tipped him off.
No, they just look at him and go,
oh. Yeah, we were stupid for letting him in.
Why we don't like droids.
Yeah, they really don't.
No.
So
no, because I think even in
Din quite a bit.
Before he trusted droids or wanted droids anywhere near him.
Yeah. Now he just goes, hey, get me a droid.
Yeah. He might change his mind now.
Now. A newfound hate for droids.
Yeah.
So the little droid comes out all smug, saying, hey, I tipped you off.
Yeah.
They're still not really having it much until Din kind of says, hey, I know him.
Yeah.
Don't blow him away yet. I know him.
Well, because they got to move anyway now. They've been found out.
Yeah, well, they did move.
They did. To a better place, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, a good staging ground, I guess.
So Din finds out
his
that
buddy.
his good old pal is in trouble.
His frenemy.
His frenemy, yeah.
They've had an on again, off.
Well, so they all did at this point.
Yeah, they did.
Even Bo is like, what are you gonna do? You can't leave him there.
No,
he's your friend.
Yeah, you don't leave
your
friends
behind.
Yeah,
I know. I know. We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there, especially with like our buddy Derek. It's like, hey, I know, I'll go get him.
Thanks for joining us, Teresa. This episode was epic, and Grim had his nerd on bad.
You did have your nerd on.
I really did. Like, I was mildly outrageous through that episode. I was probably
in a good way.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Well, unless you're not into having a nerd beside you watching a show that.
It's fun.
I was nerding out hard. It was hard.
She was truly in danger. With your flailing and stuff.
A lot of arm flailing. Wacky, waving, inflatable tube man.
Tube man?
Yeah.
Say that 10 times fast. Don't.
Okay. So yeah, are they gonna help Grief? Or are they not gonna help Grief? I love this whole Mandalorian council conversation that they had too, like showing that it's not like a single person's decision. It's the whole tribe, right?
So Din makes his speech.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate how they use the hammer.
Yeah.
As kind of a talking stick.
Yeah, I did too.
Right? Kind of felt like camp.
If camp had a giant Beskar hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the talking stick.
Yeah.
Okay. He who holds the stick holds. Calm down. Holds the crowd. He holds the stage. Okay. So his speech, as good as it was, left a lot of people doubting.
Yeah, it was going to be a bit of an argument, I think, still. Okay. Like a lot of thought.
But when Big Blue got up there...
Yeah, big boy.
He's a big boy, thick.
Thick boy. Paz. Vizsla. Yeah.
Taz Visa.
Paz. With a P.
He got up there.
Yeah.
And he starts making a speech that doesn't sound great or helpful. Okay. Yeah. Until he turns it around into this badass speech that is changing the minds.
Yeah, because this is what we do, because we're Mandalorians.
Because we're Mandalorians.
We're going in there to fight, because that's what we do. And I was like, yes.
All right. This moment was awesome.
Yeah. It's great speech.
Because Blue has had an issue.
Blue.
He's my boy. He's my boy Blue. He's had an issue with Din.
Yeah.
He's had an issue with Bo.
Yes.
Okay. He's not the first person you would think to stand up for this cause?
Well, I mean, after last episode, I kind of felt like he was going to, but the beginning of his speech, I was like, oh, okay.
Was
He's
a little touchy,
like,
right?
oh no.
But the man knows how to drive
Set the stage.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, these people stood up for his son when even himself veered a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he did some stupid shit.
So this is his motive, right? Not only that, but a strong motive for the Mandalorian to thrive again.
Yeah, come out of hiding. They're in these little caves and stuff constantly, or hiding in the shadows, or the sewers in Navarro. That's kind of where they were, was in those shadows. So,
do you think that they'll rebuild the forge in the sewers?
well, they're gonna. I don't know if they'll rebuild that one. Like,
or will they?
They probably bring the one that they got.
Because they're not going to be near the city.
No, they're getting their own stretch.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads us to the battle.
The battle planning, though. I thought it was interesting again that in this, Bo-Katan was the one kind of chosen to be the lead on this again. Right?
Bo-Katan is really. I can see where people are, because it's turning into the Bo-Katan story.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not opposed to this, but
she's still a Mandalorian.
Yeah, this is.
And so's the armorer. Like,
and not only is, speaking of the armorer.
I can't.
All right, we'll get there. This is a show about the Mandalorians.
Yeah.
And the broadening of their story is exactly what it needs.
Yeah. I love having, Din Djarin as your main go-to with Grogu at his side, but I like the fact that they're incorporating so much more of the Mandalorian lore, because the Mandalorians have always been probably one of my favorite things in Star Wars.
The most intriguing to me.
Like, I love Jedi, don't get me wrong, and I know that obviously they're the biggest part of the mythos of the Star Wars universe, but the Mandalorians for me have always been number one, above.
Their story is just intriguing.
Yeah. And the fact that they're adding so much more depth, which is something that George Lucas did so well, like in his first trilogy. He would have a single character like Boba Fett, and then there would be such an elaborate backstory to all of these things that made the universe seem so much bigger, that I think was kind of missing in some of the other Star Wars films, especially the last three. It didn't have enough depth, which I think was probably the biggest problem with it.
So producer, you think that Big Blue is going to be an ally in the future? Or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they're leading up to him being like an integral part of some big situation.
First off, I think he's a great character.
Yeah.
Okay. And later on in the show, when he has doubt and looks at Din, and Din nods his head as if to say, it's okay. He's fine with it.
Yeah.
He looks to Din for guidance there.
Yeah. Some leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That was a good scene too.
Yeah.
And we'll get there in a minute.
We will get there and elaborate on that a bit more. But like you said, Bo-Katan is doing the planning.
Yeah.
Right? She seems to be a take charge.
Well, she was a big leader too, right? Like, I mean, her sister was the leader of the pacifist movement on Mandalore that led them to some great things, but she helped knock her off her throne and ended up getting her killed.
Yeah, now was she a leader figure in the Night Owls?
Oh yeah, like she was a leader figure for that whole alternate faction. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not, like her first rodeo.
No, I think she kind of worked a bit with. I might be wrong, but I'm almost positive that she worked with Darth Maul. So, if we get really in depth to that Mandalorian lore in the Clone Wars and stuff like that, like Darth Maul ended up taking the Darksaber and was leading the Mandalorians and stuff, right? And I think she helped kind of push that whole movement by accident. She obviously wanted to lead, and it ended up Maul was pulling strings and stuff back in the.
But yeah, fine planning she does.
By the way, there are some theories that some of the like the armor is potentially one of of
Yeah,
Darth
I've
Maul's
seen some of
old.
those, and a lot of that is driven by like the horns
Yeah,
on her mask
which I mean,
and stuff
if
like that.
that theory comes true, then cool. Because when you get to those pieces in the Clone Wars, it's again because I'm obsessed with the Mandalorians. One of my favorite storylines, like the story arc for Mandalore, is amazing.
Yeah,
It's a
I'll get there one day.
great chunk.
One day I'll get there.
Not to mention you get Obi-Wan and his love interest with their
Yes.
near forbidden romance going on, and questions on whether the one child that is around that calls Sabine aunt might be their forbidden love child, which is a fun theory.
That sounds sassy.
Yeah, could be a romance novel.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, so let's roll in.
The plan is to distract the main ship.
Distract, separate, and destroy.
So what we have here is we've got Din leading, and like we said earlier, great to see some of these pirates return.
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that there's some great designs going on, some great characters.
I love Vane.
Yeah. As much of a pansy as he is.
Yeah. Well, he's a classic pirate, right? Like he's the
perfect pirate. Okay. He's out for himself.
Yeah.
Okay. Cocky.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like, okay, well, you're back, and we're gonna chase you down, and we're gonna shoot you down, but really, we're too stupid to realize it's a ploy to get you away from the main ship.
Well, and he wants a piece of Din Djarin.
Oh yeah, for sure. So they're using that against him.
Yeah.
Right.
So some of these notes are my favorite notes. So we come back to Navarro and it's pirate party.
Pirate party. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're having a good old time.
They're being real disrespectful.
They are.
They've taken the school back.
Yeah, and are drinking in it.
Yeah.
So that's rude.
Okay.
Drinking in the school.
They've got
not that any of us have ever been there.
Their huge mason jars full of. They've got their huge mason jars with nets on them.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be a great prop for like a con or something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's an easy prop, so that'd be fun.
They
come out and they shoot at the Quackians, which is just
I
rude.
know, but
they get their redemption. It's
okay. Fine. They shoot at him, and then you feel so great when the one points out the other guy.
Like, yo.
When the Mandalorians are gonna walk into an ambush pretty much, and the little guy's like, he's right over there.
They're like, it could be an ambush.
Yeah. It just felt like retribution.
Yeah, I loved it.
You know, it felt good.
Monkey lizards are the best.
Like
since like the original trilogy, I've loved the little monkey lizards because who was it? Jabba the Hutt had one as a pet that was always kicking around and like laughing at things and like just being.
And then at the beginning of the Mandalorian, the one on the spit, you were just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad they got their time in the sun.
Yeah.
Here.
Maybe we'll get more of them if we're ever kicking around Navarro, which chances are we're going to.
It's a good chance considering that they live there now.
Yeah.
Right.
So my next note is Sky Fight. Go Din. Because he just
Din.
Comes ripping in and just shoots up the big Cumulus class Corellian ship.
My question is, I thought Din lost his ship.
Where?
When Bo and him came back, they came in her ship.
Yeah. Well, he must have went and got his ship. He's not just going to leave his ship kicking around.
I'm just saying, where
you don't just leave a modified N.
I know you don't, but like, I guess it's not one of those things where like, where they put it in like, hey, give me a minute, I gotta go get my car.
Where did he leave it?
When they arrived back when Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And him first arrived back.
Yeah.
They came all in her ship.
Well, where did he leave his ship?
I don't remember.
It must have been there.
It's
Maybe.
you know. Small detail.
I'm just saying. If you had a modified
I
N1
know.
starfighter, you wouldn't
I
just
know.
leave it.
You
You wouldn't just leave it.
There's a good possibility that the droid brought it back.
That could be too. Because he would have been just chilling with the ship. Yo.
Right? Yo, what up?
Yo. What's up, Coco?
What up, Coco? Bruh.
But yeah, Skyfight. Din does a great job drawing them off and is just ripping them up. Grief Karga contacts him in one of my favorite things, and he's like, "Be careful. They outnumber you 10-1." And he's like, "I like those odds," which is another wicked throwback to the original trilogy and Han Solo's. I like those odds.
Yeah, the whole earlier the
Never
whole
tell me the odds.
Yeah, never tell me the odds. The whole good luck, you're gonna need it.
Yeah,
was a throwback as well. I think Solo also said that.
He says a lot of really passive
classic-
aggressive kind of things.
Classic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job luring everybody out. They barely knows they're being idiots about it.
And he's just wrecking them too. Like, they're way outclassed on their little pirate snub fighters. They just can't.
So I gotta say, like, when it comes to like hand-to-hand combat, Din he falls a little short.
He really does. Yeah.
But when it comes to ship flying,
yeah, he's a hell of a pilot.
this guy is like top notch.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's outmaneuvering. He's doing like special tricks. One of the, like those things where you go up and shut your engine off and then drop down in the one episode.
Yeah.
And stuff. He's a fantastic pilot. Just enough for the gauntlet to come in.
Yep. Nice one. Good one.
And,
what kind of ship is the gauntlet? I mean, the gauntlet, it is another name for those kinds of ships, but
yeah, I called it the gauntlet. That's what you're gonna get from me. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, gauntlet comes in. It's dropping troops. The real, like, the military precision that happens when you're watching the Mandalorians just drop in and
well, even
execute a plan is dope.
Even when they're sitting there ready to drop, they're sitting there in the same fashion that the droid fighters would be sitting in a thing just waiting to be dropped.
Yeah.
Right? It's almost like they're taking emotion out of it and they're just there to do their job and they get dropped and you're right. It's like watching Halo.
Yeah. I loved it. It was a great scene. The way that she just whipped in. They do their jump. My note says ground fight because I had Skyfight. Ground fight, go Paz and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we find out we spoke about what kind of weapon that was.
Which?
His extremely large.
His like
Gatling, which we've considered it possibly being a flamethrower. Yeah,
but no, it's just like a
big, it's a Gatling gun.
Heavy Gatling gun.
With unnecessary amounts of like.
Well, it's energy, man. Gotta power it up. It's a big thick chain.
It's
for a big thick boy.
Thick. That thing, like, as far as I'm aware, the Mandalorian suits, they don't have any assistance to them, do they?
What do you mean?
Like, it's not like they have a mechanical aspect that assists on things, right?
No, that's just suits of armor. Like
that guy's
he's a beast.
Thick boy.
He is. He is.
All right. I like this character.
And even before he drops in, because he kind of saves the group, like when he drops in, they're ripping it up. And I love that piece. And then like one of the little Anzellans is kicking around. And he's like, oh, come here to like the other guys. Because everybody's like getting ripped up. And then they're just sitting there laughing and stuff.
The little guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Anzellans.
They were the star of the show.
Repair guys?
At 2 points in time, they were just adorably
there being
hilarious.
Great. Oh, I love them.
At one point or another, during the ground fight, they get bogged down by a large cannon.
Yes.
From above.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's that's I think Bo-Katan hits up the big main ship before that, and she's kind of gonna draw the other guys back. Um, and they get called off because I think Vane and one of the other ones is still following
Yeah.
Din Djarin.
Oh, and that's right when he's ready to get Din.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's right on his tail.
he's like, this is my moment.
Yeah,
And then
And
gets
he's like,
called back, and he's got that disappointing, smug look on his face where he's like, ah.
yeah, got to go back. The monkey lizard does the assist, and then they get bogged out by the heavy cannon. And then, so the snub fighters whip back at that point, and then one of my favorite pieces of that, because Din comes back with, is the he's above you, the Bane, and then it's like, and then he goes down, sweeps down, he's below you, kills that guy and keeps going.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic.
But yeah, heavy cannon. And my note says, enter the armor.
Enter the armor.
She is just a verified badass. No guns.
Just using that hammer, like...
Just ripping dudes up. Like, ripping them up.
She Thors the one guy.
Yeah.
All right. Uses the clamps.
Yeah.
To grab the one guy by the back of the neck or the spine or whatever.
Yeah.
And pull him back, right?
Rolls in with a hammer and clamps. That's it.
And just the aura that this character brings off, right? And like, you got badass music behind it and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a classic badass scene.
Yeah. She's just ripping people
up. And then she just stands there over the cannon like...
Yeah. Checking the scene out.
You're welcome.
Yep. Checks out Paz. Kicking down there.
Everybody gets back to business.
Just like, oh, let's go, charge.
Right.
And they're gonna tear it up. That was probably, I hope I haven't said it already, but that was probably my favorite scene in this episode. Was the armor rolling in and just ripping people up.
I think this whole scene in general was just enough to make me go crazy.
Yeah. Don't forget to join the Facebook group and check out Nerdy Couch on Instagram. So the ground battle.
Nice plug.
Ground battle is won.
Yes.
There. It's done. They've ripped up these pirates on the ground. Gorian has been getting his engines taken out. They're trying to retreat. And Gorian's not gonna retreat.
They start firing on the ground.
Yeah, he's like just level it basically.
Like he's literally gunning for the citizens.
Yeah. He wants to just take everybody out with him if he's going down. Classic pirate.
Yeah, why not?
He's just a dick. He's like
he did go down with the ship.
He did.
So that's hard to do when you're flying one though. And hard not to do.
Yeah.
You know,
like where else are you gonna go? You jump out? I guess if you were Mandalorian, you might, if you have the jetpack.
I suppose.
Accessory.
But, you know, only Mandalorians are allowed to do that, though.
You never really see anybody else with a jetpack rolling around.
Yeah. So their main thing is now we got to take out the big ship before that happens. So they concentrate their attacks on it.
Rip it up. Take out his last engine.
Right. And it goes down in a glorious fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Right on some volcanic,
big volcanic rock piece.
Rock there, possibly stirring up some molten lava. Lava.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Great scene. Now we can rejoice.
That's right. Everybody's gonna hug it out.
Okay. And Karga.
Yeah.
Can make his big speech.
Yes.
Where at all points in time, while he was making his speech, I was expecting him to get shot or something.
Something to happen?
Like, I was expecting something to happen.
No, it was solid. It was a good speech.
Did you get that feeling?
I was waiting for something to happen.
Like, I didn't know who it was going to be. Whether it be, like, a crusty Mandalorian or a rogue pirate.
Yeah, sneaking in. Or Vane comes whipping through. And cause
with his broccoli on... Or not broccoli, but his lettuce all on, stingy
Vane.
enough. Oh no, I thought you meant
We didn't mention that Vane was like coming back, and he's like, "Hey, you know what?
He's
This
like,
doesn't look good. I'm out of
Vane,
here."
I need your help. Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, and just took off. Classic pirate guy.
Yeah, no, he was the perfect pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was expecting for Karga to get shot at some point during that
Something.
speech.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it didn't happen.
No.
You know?
But he gave him from the
He gave
what
him
was it?
land.
The lava flats?
The
Flats?
Yeah. That sounds classy.
Flats.
He was just going over to the lava flats.
To the what was it? Something gorge. And I think what I was reading was the name of the one parcel that he says was the last name of the individual who played Boba Fett in the original
Oh, okay.
jam, or wore the suit anyway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Just
Oh, yeah,
just
no,
a
I think I might have heard something about that.
tidbit.
It had a, it was a, definitely an homage to,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Um,
But the Mandos have a new home. Big
they
tract
have
of
a
land.
new home.
Or yeah,
Okay.
where they can live in the light.
Is like I got to imagine there's a certain amount of them that are still iffy about this.
Yeah.
Like they're not used to any acceptance. They're not used to being out in the open for a long time.
No.
Right. This is a new sensation, and some of them have got to be a little bit like I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely some apprehension or something.
You know, they're cheering alongside of all of these citizens. One of the citizens is very excited. There's one particular citizen that's
Yeah. Who is it? I don't maybe I didn't notice the citizen.
if you look back, there's
Be an
one
extra?
there's one citizen there's always one of those extras
Yeah.
that's given a little extra.
A little too much, like the shark and Katy Perry's dance routine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's always an extra somewhere that's given it a little extra, like the Shamalama Ding Dong guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, give us a hey yeah about that. Literally say hey yeah.
Hey
yeah.
Hey yeah.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, we get a cool scene after that where Bo-Katan's rolling down and talking to the armor, and this is where a lot of those things about, you know, did the armor know Bo-Katan before? Does Bo-Katan know who the armor is? Blah blah blah. All of these theories that are going on around it, and
this scene, if you don't mind,
yeah,
this scene has more depth to it than several episodes.
Yeah.
Put together.
Yeah.
You know, like this scene matters more than 90% of all things in the show. You know, this scene and the scene after it.
Yeah.
Right? So what does happen here?
They have a solid conversation. Armor tells her to take off her helmet.
Yes.
She's not having it, which was kind of interesting.
There was definitely some hesitation.
Yeah.
First off, I'm not gonna fall for that.
Yeah. Oh, you're kidding. No.
You know, like this is kind of your guys' thing. What's going on here?
I thought I was a part of the team.
You would have to hesitate.
Yeah.
Right? Because like there should be an outtake where she's just like, "Gotcha."
Yeah. I don't think that's how the armor would ever talk. Even,
no.
Even out of the helmet, I feel like.
Completely different person out of the helmet, by the way.
Is she?
No, yeah, she's like just a party gal.
Emily Swallow. That's who the armor is, by the way.
How to grow up with that name.
Really happy with her work, however.
Very, very good work. The conversation goes a little like this.
Oh God.
Okay.
Okay.
The armorer wants to speak with you. Just go down the long set of stairs. That's very inconvenient. The worst set of stairs for walking down in our gear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For real though. Try
Yeah.
walking down those stairs wearing that shit.
Try walking down those stairs not wearing that shit.
All right.
They were a tight spiral. And small stairs.
So she's like, "What's up? You guys wanted to talk? You wanted to talk?" And she was like, "Yeah, take your helmet off." She was like, "Say what?" All right. She said, "Yeah, take your helmet off. It's not a trick, I swear." Okay. She says, "Look, if you take your helmet off, we won't judge you. Plus, you can bring us all together and be a hero about it."
Yeah.
So she's like, "I'll take my helmet off." Takes her helmet off. What a relief.
Yeah. She's probably pretty happy.
Okay, not used to wearing her helmet for a while.
Yeah.
Or and having to wear it for a while. Pretty good relief. She's like, let me just pop a breath mint in, kind of wash up.
Yeah. Her hair looks remarkably good
for being in a helmet for a while.
Being in a helmet constantly.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see any helmet hair.
It's remarkable how much she looks like the animated character.
Yeah. Like really well casted.
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff.
With all seriousness though.
Katie Sackhoff.
Can we just use real names from now on?
That's her name.
Swallows and Sackoffs?
Emily Swallows is the armor, and Katie Sackhoff is Bo-Katan.
Like you're just lining it up.
These are their names.
And it's not like they use. You know how some actors will just use a stage name?
Sure, like Rip Torn.
You're not going around going, "Hey, you know what would be a good stage name?"
Well, it could be a good stage name. It depends. Well,
depending on what the industry is.
Yeah.
But you're not choosing that.
No.
Right.
That's your real name.
You have to live with that and grow up with that.
Yeah.
So no offense by any means. Great job.
It's a great name.
All right. With all seriousness though, this scene, I'll let you kind of explain it more because I just can't be serious.
Great depth of flavor in this scene. I thought it was cool and set up Bo-Katan's character a lot more and her potential devotion to.
There's growth in this character now.
To the Children of the Watch, like she was going for it. I think.
Yeah.
Like hook, line, and sinker.
Like I didn't feel like there was a lot of meat on this character.
Bo?
Until like
so much meat.
The last little while. Of course, then again, I've not seen some of the animated stuff where she really shined.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and now she's shining on screen too, so it's dope. I'm really happy that they're building her so much.
So essentially she's been able to take her mask off and walk both the ways.
It's a helmet.
Huh?
It's a helmet.
What did I say?
Mask.
Yeah, it's a helmet. It's for sure a helmet.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the armor wants her to unite the peoples, like all of them.
She wants her to be something different than what they are.
Yeah. Walk in both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She must walk both ways.
These are the ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's and she's now to bring all the Mandalores together, right? She mentions that because I did question whether she was taking Bo-Katan serious about seeing the mythosaur.
Yeah, she does mention the myth, like you've seen it.
Yeah, I've only heard it in myth. I thought it was a legend.
Yeah, which is dope.
And I like every time they say legend because it's a nod to the
legends,
Star Wars legends.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if other people see that way, but
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only heard it as myth. Didn't think it was anything but a story. You have seen it. Is this part of the reason that she's having this revolution?
I think so. Like the armor sees it as like the next chapter, right? Like the Mandalorians coming back to thrive and be
thinking of it in a bigger light than the other Mandalorians.
Because when Bo-Katan comes walking out without her helmet on,
oh, she gets looks.
Yeah, she gets the shit eye or the shit visor.
Yeah, it's a little hard to give someone the stank eye in those.
Yeah.
You know,
But yeah, everybody's kind of like got the
Well, like,
questioning look.
facial expression is like a whole big percentage of like getting a point across on things.
I talked about that before though, that like these actors are doing an amazing job of
Give an expression to
giving
an
expression.
expressionless
Yeah.
character.
With just like those head tilts and the way that they move and stuff.
Yeah,
Because I guess you have to be more expressive in how your body
it
moves
takes
when
an
you
extra
can't see
bit.
face.
Right? It takes an extra bit of acting because you cannot use an expression of any sort,
Yeah.
right, in the face. So, good job
Great job.
to all of them,
Yeah.
right? I know that you don't give a lot of love to the individual Mandalorian, right? But like just as a group, they all portray everything so nicely.
Yeah.
And then Big Blue is the one
That was this is the part that we were talking about earlier, that he gives like the look over to Din Djarin, and Din Djarin just like gives the nod,
just a nod,
basically saying this is the way, but with body language.
Yeah. So,
Which I
and
liked.
just seeing the respect given that wasn't there before,
Yeah.
is just great, right?
I loved it. That whole portion from when she went underground to talk to the armor all the way to the part where she's leaving on the ship. Like,
That's why I'm saying all of this means so much more than, there's so much depth to what's going on in these scenes that you don't really get in a lot of other scenes, and a lot of even full episodes.
Yeah.
You don't get this much depth and meaning to what's actually going on and stuff like that. And then, unless I'm jumping over, we're getting another just huge thing right at the end of this episode.
yeah, space.
Space is huge.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we're in it. And there's a busted ass ship.
What kind of ship is that?
I don't remember. Transport ship.
Pretty much is what it is.
Yeah.
Right. And our fellow guy. That I can never understand. The only guy in this scene.
Why can you not remember Captain
It's probably
Tava's
written on
name?
the board too.
It's right. No, it's in the small notes. You might not be.
Yeah, it's in the 75-page memo that's been put on the board.
So I got really excited when I was making my notes, and I wanted to be
thorough.
So I have,
and now it's a manual
of the who's who of the episode. I didn't list every character.
It appears
but
like
I listed many characters.
It looks like you might.
And some planets and ships, because you know what? In Star Wars, I believe that the ships are their own characters.
I agree.
I
agree that they, at the very least, respect their own names. You know, that's very true.
And then I listed some different species on there that we saw.
Some of the menus on, like, in restaurants.
Yeah.
There's
right there.
There's
and some planets.
I believe there's a list of materials used on the set. There's
There's not. Anyway, Captain Tava finds this transport ship just floating in space, checks it out. He's like, "Oh shit."
I thought I was the one that was supposed to ad-lib this stuff.
Oh shit, this was a prisoner.
Mate. Oh shit, mate, there's a ship out here, bruh.
And he calls it in and checks it out. I was wondering if we were going to get the death of Tava in this piece. But obviously he's going to have some role to play in later episodes, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you thought he was going to get unalived?
I thought he was.
I never got the feeling.
No? I thought there was... Well, it was a real ominous...
It was ominous.
Yeah. Because there's a whole bunch of unalived
so he
people
calls
in there.
it in, and then he scans them using using the same technology that they use in Aliens.
Mm-hmm. Which I thought was a fun thing for his astromech droid to have, by the way, is like a little remote bot that kind of popped off. Yeah. We get to see like their little like scope bot on R2-D2 and stuff like that.
And it's like, so the droid has a droid.
Yeah. Yeah, he has his own little droid.
Yeah.
Which
Can
is
I just
adorable.
give a shout out to another droid? I don't want to particularly. I'm not talking about no curvy droids or nothing like that. So just calm your shit.
Can I give a shout out to Curvy Bot, please?
All right, just calm your shit, okay? What I want to give a shout out to. You give it up, guys. All right. How long does this need to go on? All right. Never live it down, okay? There's a particular droid in this that I was like, no, what? There's a little red R5 unit when the pirates are taken over that's just sparking all over the place, and he's got like burn marks on him, and he's just
running into the rock.
He's just kind of running into the rock, and I'm like, you poor thing.
Yeah.
That little guy. I hope I see him later. I hope it's like one of those things where
he's all fixed
where
up.
there's a dog, and you're like, oh no, but then at the end you see the dog run by, and you're like, oh yeah, he's fine.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe that'll happen.
We're a fan of the droids. I don't like to see
No. They're characters too.
Yeah. So anyway,
scans the ship. Everybody's dead.
The ship. Everyone's dead, and it's the transport that was carrying Moff Gideon.
MG.
Okay.
Machine gun.
Machine gun. Has he escaped?
His body's not there.
Has he been taken?
Could be.
Has he been unalived?
Don't know.
We don't know. But what we do know is what?
That there was a piece of Beskar lodged in the wall.
Okay. Beskar in the wall. It's there to make you believe.
Well, it's there to make you theorize.
Yes, because there's going to be theory time.
Yeah.
Like all over the place.
Who was it? Who did it? Who rescued him? Blah, blah, blah.
Now I see that there's some people saying it has to be a setup by somebody to make them believe that the Mandalorian were a part of this. Because no respectful Mandalorian would leave a piece of Beskar just hanging around there. And I thought to myself, that might be true if they didn't constantly leave Beskar helmets lying around everywhere.
Or like Bo-Katan's pauldron that came off.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like she went back and got it.
So many times you see them just not taking that with them.
And we know that there's Beskar around because in season 1, that was like something that Din Djarin was getting paid in from whoever.
Yeah.
Was that bunch of Beskar.
So there's lots that you could take from this.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm wondering if it's not, what the heck was there? I can't remember what the bunch was called, but it's the ones that were helping Darth Maul. Like, there's so many different tribes of Mandalorians, and a lot of them are out there for hire. Like, it's not.
There's a lot of them that that have like a sour taste for the Empire and all this and that, and like, a lot of people are saying, hey, if it were a Mandalorian, they wouldn't abduct him; they would kill him. They would just kill him.
Okay, but Boba Fett worked for them.
Yeah.
You know?
There's so many things that people can say, but
I realized that he was a clone and a bounty hunter and blah, 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 blah.
There's going to be a loophole in just about every theory.
Yeah.
And
it's going to be interesting to see where it plays out.
It's going to be fun because they've left it open to interpretation. And it's one of the first times in a while in these shows that I've felt like, hey, whoa.
Yeah. What is it?
Like
what's going to be the big reveal?
Yeah. Right. A lot of people are theorizing that the armorer is going to have something to do with it. All right. You know.
How would she have something to do with it?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't say they were my theories.
She just ran out to steal Moff Gideon
Yeah, I
real
know.
quick.
Right. So are we gonna see Moff Gideon again?
You can't not
Yeah.
see him again. And you know what would be interesting to me around the Beskar? Do we have a theory time thing up yet? No. Um.
No, dropping the balls all over the place.
So my theory on the Beskar, because I have, I'm a theory
You can
guy.
only say it so
I'm a
many
theory guy,
times and give so many opportunity.
is that
It's
what if? Okay, so we're setting up Ahsoka. We've got Rebels, tie-ins and stuff like that,
we do.
and we know that at some point we're going to see more of the Rebels cast in live action, and we haven't seen, which would make the most sense to see at some point in this show, is Sabine Wren. And because of the connection between the cast from Rebels and Ahsoka, it's plausible that instead of, having Moff Gideon sent off to wherever to be dealt with by the New Republic, who they don't have any faith in, perhaps, did Sabine Wren have something to do with the kidnapping of Moff Gideon to find out where Thrawn is?
Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah, it's exciting to see which way they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I really need some Sabine Wren.
Now, from what I hear, this next episode's going to be a big episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's going to go on, and there's going to be some important things that happen in this next episode. I'm excited.
I'm excited all the time right now. Like, this episode definitely pulled it up for me, and has me at a solid 9 bananas. Just kicking it.
If we must do a banana rating,
I don't know which way.
okay.
This way.
If we must do a banana rating, I don't know why I pulled it up like that.
Why mustn't we?
If we must do a banana rating,
Mm-hmm.
okay. This would have to be possibly my favorite episode of this season.
Of the season.
Of this season.
Okay.
I won't say of the series of the series. I'd have to put some solid thought into that.
Yeah.
Definitely this was a fantastic episode, and I'm gonna would you went for a good old 9?
I went for a solid 9.
I'm gonna match that, and I'm gonna give it we're gonna put a 99 on this.
99.
So, 99. We're going for 2 9s.
Mm-hmm.
That is a solid score.
Yeah.
Yeah, this, like I said, this episode actually made me appreciate the episode that I didn't really appreciate much.
Right.
Just with the little tiny pieces, that piece in the office there really kind of made me think about how much of a story building episode that was.
Yeah.
So I would actually bring my score of that show up some, I think, if I had to, or if I was allowed to. I don't know what I rated it. So
you can do whatever you want.
All right, I'm gonna bring that up to whatever I did. I'm gonna bring it up to I'm gonna bring it up to an 8.
Nice.
Now.
Solid.
A solid 8.
That's good.
Anywhere between a 7.5 and an 8. So, not that it matters.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's all just made up scales in our head that we don't really pay attention.
Hey, banana ratings are the new currency, I hear.
Is it new
In some
currency?
countries.
Because when I go to Walmart and I ask, hey, I'd like to buy that. How many banana ratings would you take for that? They look at me with a weird face.
But yeah, I can't wait for the next episode. Like, this one had me on that edge of my seat. Like, what's gonna happen next?
This episode could bring me out of a bad mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really could.
I agree.
I'm often in a bad mood, and this episode had me in a good mood.
Yeah.
All right.
Not a great mood, but like
a good mood.
Yeah, that's good.
A good mood.
I'm happy for you.
All right.
Okay.
again, great episode. Can't wait for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this is going to be a solid
Last
series,
few.
solid last few episodes.
Yep.
Super excited.
Yeah.
Super excited. And what we're going to do is we're going to tell you to go and subscribe.
And hit the like button.
Ring that bell.
Make sure you comment.
Ring my bell.
Ring my bell. My bell. Ring it in. Like,
That wasn't
subscribe,
distracting.
notifications,
Share.
and share.
With both your
Comment.
friends.
All your friends.
Okay.
If you have more than 2 friends, I'm jealous. But do your thing. Oh wait, I have 3 maybe
I don't remember.
in this room.
I don't really like you.
Okay, I got 2.
I'm kidding, guys. Take care. You know we love you.
Peace.
Peace. Give me a minute.